The underground rap scene has given us artists that have paved the way for some of the most popular rappers we listen to today. Others have changed the way that rap sounds altogether. Today, we are going over the top 5 underground rap artists you should look out for. Number 5. Hooligan Chase. Some of you may know Hooligan Chase for his viral song Asshole, which made the rounds on TikTok in late 2019 and early 2020. With over 170,000 videos under the TikTok sound, it's no surprise that Asshole is his most popular song on Spotify with over 63 million streams. Despite how successful the song was, Hooligan Chase sits at just over 240,000 monthly listeners on the app. Chase's most recent project is titled Excerpts of a Dream I Had, which dropped on October 24, 2022. This album showcases his incredible lyricism over car-rattling beats, tied in with his almost monotone cadence, which on paper may seem a little basic. We'll be the first to tell you that Hooligan Chase is anything but basic. His laid-back demeanor and witty wordplay paired with aggressive 808s and captivating samples might make you wonder why Chase hasn't found the level of success that an artist as talented as he deserves. Number 4. DC the Don. By far, one of the most versatile artists we have on our list is DC the Don. He frequently features his ability to melodically rap over trap beats while also being able to express pop-punk elements in some of his work. His high-pitch, almost cartoonish-sounding voice is something you don't see in other artists. His vocal range is impressive and is clearly outlined in his most popular song, Worst Day, which is currently sitting at just over 12.6 million streams on Spotify. The beats he chooses are anything from old-school video game sounding to the more common rage or plug-and-be beats you hear today. When listening to his latest project, My Own Worst Enemy, which dropped in February of this year, he shows off his ability to switch from rapping on one beat to singing on the next and then raging on the following. The greatest thing about DC is that whenever he drops something new, you never know what you're going to get. The only guarantee is that the track will always leave an impression, which is why it's unbelievable to see him at just 830,000 monthly listeners on Spotify. Number 3. Shorty Shorty. Let me be the first to apologize if this artist out of Baltimore, Maryland hasn't graced your ears. Shorty Shorty finds himself singing as much as he used to rap nowadays thanks to his beautifully raspy voiceover moving melodic trap beats. His claim to notoriety started with his most popular song, Bitchuary, which currently has over 127 million streams on Spotify. His level of consistency in putting out music is something to be admired, with him putting out multiple singles and EPs every year, accompanied by at least one album. Bigger names in the industry have noticed his potential, with Shorty securing collaborations with Shoreline Mafia, Murda Beats, Mozzie, and Offset to name a few. His most recent project, More Than Music Part 2, dropped in July of this year and is full of a mix of feel-good songs and tracks that'll make you rethink your last breakup. Or maybe not. Shorty Shorty is truly a well-rounded artist that has very few misses, which makes him deserving of his 1 million monthly listeners on Spotify. Number 2. Eam Triplin. Eam Triplin is another artist you might have seen making the rounds on TikTok recently, and for good reason. Eam's music is almost angelic. His soft and dreamy beats, paired with his somehow even softer and soothing voice, makes him possibly the most unique artist on this list. Eam came from humble beginnings, making Trippie Redd or Playboy Cardi type beats and posting them on YouTube. It seems he made the transition to making songs sometime in 2018, and we are so glad he did. His first few tracks aren't much to listen to, but his progression over the last 4 years is impressive to say the least. His song, Awkward Freestyle, went semi-viral on TikTok under a bunch of different sounding names. That push of virality, however, made Awkward Freestyle his most popular song on Spotify, and it currently sits at 17 million streams. He has yet to drop an album, but his most recent single, Just Friends, which dropped in September, has an incredible energy to it. His flow over this airy and melodic beat will tickle an itch in your brain that you never knew you had. Despite only recently gaining real traction, Eam is currently at over 1.2 million monthly listeners on Spotify. The level of promise that Eam is showing as an artist is refreshing to see, as his style is so unique, and we are so excited to see where he takes his career next. Honorable mentions. It only seems right to include Snot and Coach Ice as honorable mentions within this list. While they may no longer be a part of the scene anymore and have reached a more mainstream level, they undoubtedly put the newer underground rap scene on their backs for a while. Seeing two talented artists grow their fan base massively, leading to new levels of success, is something to behold. Snot now sits at just over 8 million monthly listeners on Spotify, and just recently ended touring with the Suicide Boys on a nationwide circuit. Coach Ice wrapped up his tour for his latest project, The Inspection, which also covered most of the nation. Currently, Coach Ice is hovering just below 5 million monthly listeners on Spotify. Now, at the number 1 spot we have Lucky. If Future had a kid, raised it to be his prodigy, and got him to sip lean and pop pills as much as he does, then you'd get Lucky. Lucky takes melodic psychedelic beats and raps over them effortlessly, mainly talking about his drug abuse, which you can clearly hear through the lyrics. His songs are reminiscent of a leaned-out Future rapping Codeine Crazy. On top of his unique high-pitched voice, his lyricism is above the majority of other underground artists. He weaves his love for those drugs through silky smooth beats, taking advantage of fun instrumentals to make something so catchy, you won't be able to get the track out of your head for days. This is clearly shown in his most popular song, For the Beta, where he paints a picture of a drugged-up adventure through a beat that'll simply make you float. Even with his sadder songs, you can't help but get a good vibe from them, as his voice and lyrics are even more addicting than the drugs he's rapping about. Lucky's most recent project, Flawless Like Me, which dropped on September 23rd, is one of the best albums to come out of the underground this year. The track on Flawless Like Me, entitled 13, received a co-sign from one of the industry's best talents, Drake. Lucky is going to be the artist that makes it out of the underground in 2023, and his 2.7 million listeners on Spotify would almost certainly share that sentiment. If any of the artists in this video piqued your interest, we left their Spotify links in the description below. Did you agree with the artists we chose? Who would you include in your top 5? Let us know in the comments below. Make sure to leave a like and subscribe to stay up to date with our weekly uploads. Thanks for watching.